In this video, I'm going to show you guys the best way to go solar in California in 2026. I'm going to review with you one of our existing clients' electric bills before and after they went solar with us using our three-step process. And I'm going to show you guys how it's now possible to completely eliminate your electric bill without investing a single dollar out of pocket. So with that, guys, put this video in 1.5x speed and let's jump in. So just so you know a little bit more about me and why we are the best in the industry at helping homeowners, business owners, and building owners eliminate their electric bill and pocket $10,000, $100,000, even $1 million over the life of their system. My name is Taylor Kraus, and I founded Helios in 2018 on the belief of taking care of our customers the way I'd want to be taken care of if it was me. That's what I really believe in. Since then, we've served thousands of customers in Southern California. We've gotten so good, in fact, we've been awarded multiple commercial projects, our largest being a 2,000 panel job, about 100 homes worth of solar in Southern California, Anaheim Servite High School. We've also been lucky enough to be awarded celebrity installation projects such as Ashton Kutcher from That 70s Show. Really cool guy. With that, don't take it from just me. Here's some of our reviews. If you Google Helios Energy Global reviews, you can see some of our reviews here, and I've scrolled down just to find some ones I want to show you guys specifically. But basically, here's some of our guys. Shout out to Mark and Yafet for hooking me up with the free batteries in my home. We love that. The installation technicians were kind, extremely clean, answered all the questions I had. Helios did a great job coordinating my installation. Helios is the best of the best. You can read about these, they go back for years, but take a look at them and see what we're all about. Nonetheless, you're probably here for one of three reasons. Number one, you have an electric bill that's way too high. Number two, you want to help the planet. Number three, you are threatened by power outages or want to protect your home from future power outages. Totally get that. Now, the first question in determining if this is something that's worth it for you or not is, do you plan on moving anytime soon? And by anytime soon, I mean the next 12 months. If the answer is no, then this is absolutely a win for you. If the answer is yes, and you are planning on moving the next 12 months, it would probably still be a win, but maybe isn't worth the hassle. So anyways, if you're not moving anytime soon, we know for a fact you will keep paying an electric bill. And if I asked you, hey, what do you think the chances are that they're gonna lower your electric rates in the future? Oh wait, gas just hit $6 a gallon. We have AI centers now. To give you an idea why that's such a big deal is because when you do a Google search, it takes 6 watts of power. A ChatGPT or Claude search is 60 watts of power, 10 times the amount of power. So solar is really the solution because they are not going to be lowering the rates anytime soon. So the biggest objection we typically hear when looking at solar is the upfront cost. Thankfully, you live in a better time. What we've done is secured multiple financial partners that will take care of 100% of all the system costs and installation costs for you, so you can keep all your cash, keep all your money invested, eliminate your electric bill, and make an immediate profit the first full month the system is operational. How is that possible? I'm glad you asked. So let me take you through a 3-step process that we use to get our clients results time and time again. So the first one, we're gonna review your electric bill. So since I don't have your bill just yet, I will take a look at one of our current clients' bills. But if you look at a bill, let's start from the beginning, right? This client is paying $523 in this last month. So the first thing when understanding your bill, and again, I never looked at electric bills until I got into this industry, but is a kilowatt hour. So gas is measured in gallons, electricity is measured in what's called kilowatt hours. So this customer used 1,180 kilowatt hours for the month, and they paid $523. So we want to find out what is their price per kilowatt hour. So if gas is $6 a gallon, how much am I paying per kilowatt hour, right? So basically if we take 523 for the month and we divide it by the total amount that they used, 1181, the price per kilowatt hour in this case is 44 cents. 44 cents a kilowatt hour. Now, if you have never lived anywhere else, that might not mean anything to you, but to give you an idea, basically here's a third-party electricities by state. Here we are in all the categories, very low, low, average, high, medium, very high, whatever. California and Hawaii in the very high category. If you look at the national US average, the average rate per kilowatt hour is 18 cents. Again, this guy is paying 44, so almost triple, right? And the California average is 33 cents, but in Southern California, it's even higher. So if you look at your bill even in more detail, there are 2 different parts of the bill that are important to notice, right? So there's, it's called generation charges, which is making the power, and delivery charges. So what if I told you the delivery was more expensive than the generation, the cost to get it to your house was more expensive than the generation. How crazy would that be? But that actually is the reality for every homeowner in California. Let's take a quick peek at this. Delivery charges. This customer's paying $373. Remember, they paid $523 for the month. We just do some quick, easy math. If it's $373 divided by $523, 71% of their bill is delivery. Now, within the delivery, Edison in this example and a lot of utilities love to sneak in extra little fees that most people don't look at, right? You kind of just pay your bill. So to go through this with you, here are the first two, right? Transmission and distribution. That's basically just fancy for shipping and handling, right? Getting it to your house. They also throw in extra fees for public purpose programs, such as like discount programs. So essentially this customer is paying $18 for his neighbor to get a discount on their bill. Last but not least, new system generation charges. So this customer is paying almost $10 for this month for Edison making more infrastructure. So you're paying for them to do their job. They just sneak in delivery charges. Pretty crazy. But that's the story for many utilities out here in Southern California. Now, if you've ever seen your bill go up in a recent time, that was not made up. It actually is real. So Edison in 2024, as an example again, raised their rates 22%, 22.6% exactly, in 2024, and then they declared a 6% increase every year thereafter. Well, what happened right away? They lied. The very next year, they did not raise rates 6%. With a quick Google search, how much did they raise it in 2025? They raised it 13%. Bruh. Once again, so some quick math. If this customer is paying $523 for their bill, as we've seen a few times now, if we take $523 and we do a 22% increase in year one, followed by a 13% increase in year two, it's almost $200 more that they are paying per month in a matter of 2 years. It's wild, right? So if you've ever thought about changing utilities, you can't, right? California, unfortunately, is a monopoly with every utility in the area. Unlike places like Chicago or other states where you can change utilities, in California, you're stuck. And that means they can charge you whatever they want. But thankfully, solar is the solution. So again, on your call, we're gonna review your bill and look at your specific situation. So for this customer specifically, they are using about 15,000 kilowatt hours for the year. I've already added it up, save you the time. Step two, designing your system. So now that we know how much power you need, we're gonna design a system. So as much as we don't want you to underinvest in solar, we also want you to overinvest as well, because too much is actually not a good thing. And why do I mean that, right? So first step to answer that question is explaining something to you called net metering. So let me explain what net metering is, right? So basically your system is going to make more power than you can possibly use during the day, and it's going to give you a bill credit for any excess power you send and sell back to the grid. Let me give you an example. So here's one of our customers. You can see here another Edison bill. They had -13 bill for the month, and they have a bill credit of -225 for the year. Let's look at another one. So this one here is an LEDWP bill. They have a $0 bill again as well, and almost $1,000 of bill credit. They actually deposited $61 into their bank for the month. And here's another Edison bill. You can see here they have a -690 bill credit, billing month 11 of 12, -26 for the month. So basically net metering essentially will give you more and more bill credits for any excess power you send and sell back to the grid. Unfortunately, you can't cash it out. Yes, we wish you could, but so you always want to get that sweet spot, right? But what is that number? And that's going to depend on a few things, but to answer that question, let's look at what's called net metering 2.0 and 3.0. So net metering 2.0 and 3.0 are different depending on which utility that you have. So in 2.0, again, all that excess power gets sent and sold back to the grid at a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning any excess power that you sell to them, you will buy back later in the evening when the sun's not out. So your solar's not making power, and it's an equal exchange. So if you sell and buy the same exact amount automatically throughout the month, you are paying again that $0 for the month. So now net metering 3.0, some utilities in California, now your excess power is not mostly sold back to the grid, it's mostly just stored in your batteries. Think of it like Tupperware to eat your food later in the day, right? Just store it for later. So it is actually a ratio of 1 to a quarter. So you're gonna sell it for about a quarter of what you're gonna buy it back for later. But thankfully, it doesn't really matter too much because most of your power is going to your batteries. And thankfully, since you're not really, again, buying back much of it, you're still able to stay at a $0 bill throughout the year. So depending on your utility, you'll be on net metering 2.0 or 3.0, and you will or will not need batteries, but thankfully, you'll save money either way. And if you want to protect your family from power outages, then definitely yes to batteries regardless. But let's look at a system layout, right? So here's the system layout for this customer. Remember, they were using about 15,000 kilowatt hours for the year. That is your total consumption. Now, we typically say you always want to be over 100% for a couple reasons. But the first one is peace of mind, right? One of the biggest benefits to this is essentially getting to run your AC more for free. Charging your car and driving around town for free. Leaving your lights on, waking up the next day, not feeling guilty about it, for free. So the peace of mind that solar brings, it's really liberating. Keeping your jacuzzi hot, I can go on and on, right? But so with that, you also want to make a little excess power just for that ratio if you are in net metering 3.0. But for this customer, we have 25 panels on the back of the roof here. We have 2 batteries and 114% offset, which means they are going to get a nice little cushion over what they're currently using. Now, the number one regret we hear when actually going solar is actually, I wish I got more panels. And that's again because people really want to experience that improvement in lifestyle, right? Enjoy their life more. And so if you're also thinking, well, hey, what if my system doesn't perform? I've got good news for you. Thankfully, now we've got AI and satellites that do a lot of factoring in how many sun hours your property is going to get. And with incredible accuracy, they are going to be able to tell you how much you're going to save right out the gate and to tell you how many sun hours you're going to be able to get. So here it is. Google Sunroof will show you that exact number. Again, this is all factored into our proposal software that uses all this to calculate the system design and how much production that you're going to get from your system. Now, thankfully, if for whatever reason that's still wrong, you do get a production warranty and guarantee that guarantees your system production, which means if it doesn't perform, you get literally cash reimbursement. You will actually get a check. I have seen it a few times, that people that got paid out for their solar not producing. All right, so that's steps 1 and 2. Let's go over step 3. This is where you maybe have never heard of this before. It's called solar as a service. Now, with that, we do have traditional options available, of course, but all the subsidies, government monies have all transitioned to what's called third-party ownership, meaning somebody else owning your system. Now, let me explain why that's not a bad thing. We already actually are using that for a lot of services in our life right now. So I like to say, hey, neither you nor I currently own the power grid, but we get to benefit from it every day as if we did, right? You turn your lights on, they turn on. Something breaks, they come and fix it. You don't have to deal with it. What a luxury, right? So things we use as a service right now are currently our electricity, our water, our sewage and trash, our phone bill. There's probably some more I haven't even thought of. But essentially with solar as a service, solar now is going to replace Edison or your utility as your main electric provider. Now the good part is you're not actually at any risk of never having power because you are still connected to the electric grid. You cannot legally disconnect. So there's no risk of, oh, what if it's not working? You're always going to have power at your home, no matter what, as long as the grid still works and is there. But thankfully, solar is going to replace that and just basically give you a much cheaper price per kilowatt hour. We'll go over in a second, but solar is going to be the main one for you. Now, what are some of the benefits of solar as a service, right? So the first one is nothing down, nothing out of your pocket. Pretty affordable. So there's no loan, there's no debt. It doesn't show up on your credit report. So with that, there's no risk, right? There's no headache because it's not your problem. Again, no risk of lifestyle loss because you're still connected to the grid and you're only going to pay for what the system makes just at the reduced rate. So, with that, I always say, hey, just say yes, take the W, take the win and save money. Hard to lose when you're saving money. So let me show you the numbers, right? So with that, we scroll down here for this customer. Again, he was paying $523. But let's just even round it a little more conservative, right? He was paying $523 with this system. Now he's paying he's not paying $500. He's paying $250. So instead of paying $523, he's paying $250 for his solar, and the rate he's getting is 17 cents. Again, we saw that math, right? He was paying 44 cents per kilowatt hour for his bill. Remember, he was paying $523 and using $11.81, 44 cents a kilowatt hour as this customer is paying. Now he's going to pay 17 cents for the solar as a service for any power that this system makes. And it's going to be almost an immediate $250 a month savings. Truly incredible. So now most people, when they see this, they go, oh my God, this is a no-brainer. And they want to get started right away, right? Unfortunately, it's not up to us and everyone does not qualify. So there are a few factors in the qualification process. Your roof has to be in good enough shape. That's the first one. Now we do work on all different types of roof: composite shingle, flat tile, concrete tile, flat roofs, metal roofs, even clay roofs. We can do a picture frame cutout and replace it with comp shingle. But thankfully, if your roof is not in good enough shape, this is now the best time to go solar and get your new roof because you can incorporate it into the project and get some government subsidies to help with your roof, and again, stay zero out of pocket. That's the first one, right? Your roof. So the second one is your utility has to approve your application. So this is where the utility has to have the infrastructure in your area to handle the net metering and the backfeed to the grid. And if too many people are already solar in your area, they will unfortunately deny your application. And of course, you can exit the agreement free of charge. But this is truly is a first come, first serve. So you want to be the first in your neighborhood, because once the infrastructure is maxed out, it's maxed. And that's it for the time being. And the last one is your credit. Again, our financiers are putting up tens of thousands of dollars for your system. So you just need to have passable credit, right? Show that you're a worthy, creditor. But thankfully, it's a soft credit check, so it'll only show up after you're approved and after installation. In closing, one of the biggest questions we get, hey, what happens when I move? Great question. So thankfully, since again, you didn't take any debt, there's no lien on the property, there's only lien in the equipment itself, which shows as a public notice of ownership of the equipment with the county. And so thankfully, if and when you move, the discounted rate is just grandfathered in and transferred to the new buyer automatically. All it takes is one call to your utility to let them know of the ownership change. Lastly, guys, in closing, I'm looking forward to your call and seeing if we can genuinely help you. We do have 150 plus reviews with a 4.9 star average across all platforms. And that's because we get the best results in the industry with the best service, because we actually care. And we only work with clients we know that we can actually help. As you can imagine, our reputation is a massive priority to us. And I'm gonna do everything in my power to keep that reputation as good as we can. We've worked so many years to build. And if I look at your situation and for whatever reason, I don't think we can help, it's unusual, but it does happen, then we'll just tell you, hey, we unfortunately can't help you. But the worst thing is for you to get started, you to be unhappy, and then leave us a bad review. But the good news is, again, we are typically able to help almost every person we come in contact with. So if that's you, I will of course extend an offer to you to become a private client. Finally, please bring any and all questions you have to your call. As you hopefully can tell by now, we're an open book. And any questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them then. Look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.